This is the DC All Access Top 10 Batman Stories You've Never Read.
We're kicking things off with 1978's The Laughing Fish arc, which, in addition to being one of the classic Joker stories, also highlights Batman's romantic side. Silver St. Cloud discovers that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and for a moment, it seems like she might accept his dual identity. But even though she loves him, she can't handle the stress of knowing that he's in constant danger, and she runs away. Always a Batman, never a bride.
Our number 9 belongs to Denny O'Neil's Venom story arc in Legends of the Dark Knight. Batman's strength fails him as he tries to save a young girl's life, and in his grief, he turns to the experimental strength-enhancing drug Venom. Bruce becomes addicted to the very substance he hoped would help him save more lives. As hard as it is to witness Batman's downward spiral as Venom takes over his mind and body, his detox is even more unsettling. This story serves as a startling reminder that under the cape and cowl, Bruce Wayne is still 100% human.
Scott Snyder's first foray into writing Batman nabs our number 8. Black Mirror features Dick Grayson as Batman, struggling to adjust to his new identity as he faces the atrocities of Gotham's most corrupt criminals. At the same time, a haunting narrative about Jim Gordon's estranged son explores the disturbing life of a psychopath. Snyder ties the seemingly disparate stories together in brilliant fashion and cements himself as one of the top Batman writers of his generation.
Next on the list is 2003's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman Trinity, which tells the story of the first time the iconic trio joined forces. Ra's al Ghul aligns with Bizarro and rogue Amazonian Artemis to launch a nuclear attack. To stop them, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman must set their ideological differences aside and work together. Matt Wagner's characterization in the story expertly reinforces why the Trinity stands in the elite category of superheroes.
4-issue miniseries The Cult lands our number 6 spot. Deacon Blackfire's army of homeless followers kidnaps Batman and brainwashes him by lacing his food with drugs. Eventually, Bats escapes and stumbles around Gotham for days recovering from the poison. Ultimately, Batman has to figure out how to get Blackfire's powerful army to turn on their leader. He's pushed to the extreme and unwittingly betrays his own principles in the process.
Our number 5 is the DC Elseworld story Gotham by Gaslight. Set in a Victorian Gotham City, Bruce Wayne is wrongfully convicted of being Jack the Ripper and sentenced to death. In the 11th hour, Bruce discovers the Ripper's true identity is someone he was much closer to than he could have imagined. The idea of the world's greatest detective investigating one of history's most infamous murderers is genius, and the book more than lives up to the premise.
Next is a one-shot from 1996 called The Joker, Devil's Advocate. The Joker receives the death penalty after he's found guilty of poisoning stamps from the post office. But there is a hitch. The Clown Prince of Crime is actually innocent. Batman, ever the guardian of true justice, sets out to exonerate the Joker. The Dark Knight finds the true culprit and saves Joker from electrocution with seconds to spare. The irony is almost unbearable, but the book is a perfect portrait of Batman's dedication to justice.
Spectacular artwork and a refreshingly original premise earns Darwin Cook's story Ego our number 3 spot. Bruce Wayne questions his career as Batman after he indirectly causes a man to commit suicide. Once he drifts off to sleep, Bruce confronts his subconscious desire to kill, and in sort of a therapy session with himself, discovers why it's so important for him to bear the burden of being Batman. It's an excellent one-of-a-kind look inside the mind of a troubled hero.
Number 2 sees Bruce Wayne grapple with a parent's worst nightmare in Son of the Demon. Batman teams up with Ra's al Ghul to take down a rogue assassin, and ends up falling in love with, marrying, and impregnating Raz's daughter Talia. When Talia realizes that his impending fatherhood has softened Batman, she fakes a miscarriage, sending the calloused Cape Crusader back to Gotham. I hate to say it, but kids ruin everything.
And finally, the number 1 Batman story you've never read is No Man's Land. After an earthquake ravages Gotham, the US government cuts off aid and condemns the city. Gangs and criminals carve Gotham into territories, and Batman and the police make deals with the likes of Poison Ivy and Two-Face in their struggle to regain control of the city. Spanning an entire year and encompassing over 80 different issues, No Man's Land is without a doubt one of DC's most masterful crossover events.